Alright, so step 1 tells us to identify the vertex. Put your finger on the vertex. This is our function in purple here. This is the vertex. Is that a minimum or a maximum? Our maximum is at what order pair? Okay, now it tells us to find the domain and range. I'm going to show you guys how to find the domain and range in both. Let's make a chart. I like charts. Domain, range. Okay, I want to connect this hopefully to something you've done before, so we're going to call this one inequalities. And this one, interval notation. You guys just took some notes down. The domain goes in which direction? It's the x-axis. The direction is left to right. Let's write that. Left to right. So if I think about this, I'm going to put my pen on the left side. Put your pen on the left side. And I'm going to move. And the first thing I touch is a what? On my graph, what did I touch? An arrow. What does the arrow tell us? The graph keeps going in this direction. Now we're just focusing on the x-axis, which basically means that the graph is saying you can have all of the negative x values. Okay? And as I go towards the right, what's the last thing I touch on my graph? Another arrow. What does the arrow tell us? It's going to keep going in this direction towards the right, towards all the x values that are positive. What does that mean? I can pick all the numbers. The answer is all real numbers. We have a symbol for all real numbers. It's a capital R, but you kind of draw two lines there when you're doing your R. What does that basically mean? You can pick anything on the x values. Does that make sense? For the range, so I'm still doing inequalities. For the range, I need to go in a certain direction. What direction do I go? Bottom to top. Put your pencil or pen at the bottom. Now it should be in this direction. Okay, so I start from the bottom and I go up. Klotz, what's the first thing I touch? What do the arrows tell us? You can pick all of these values on the negatives for the y values. Does that make sense? So I have a graph, I have a graph, I have a graph, I have a graph, I have a graph. But what happens here, class? It stops. The range refers to which axis? The y values. What number did it stop on the y number line? Which number? -3. Remember, this is x, y. The numbers I can pick on my graph, are they smaller or bigger than -3? Does the graph come up here? Can I have positive y values? Is that bigger or smaller? Huh? These are the bigger numbers, right? That would be larger. So this would be what? Small. Another word for smaller is? Think inequalities. Less than. And a closed circle means I can include it. That means equals to. The graph basically saying that I can pick all the y values, all my outputs are going to be numbers that are smaller than or equal to -3. Again, the reason why it's not greater is because that would be up there. Okay, that's what you should have learned in before pre-calculus. That's like algebra 2, algebra 1. Let's now do interval notation. Domain starts on the left side, and the first thing I touch is a arrow. Where's this coming from? Can anyone define this area over here? I heard it. Yes. What kind of infinity? Negative infinity. For negative infinity, we do a parentheses. Everyone say parentheses? Parentheses means do not include. You might be asking, why is it a parentheses and not a bracket? Bracket would basically mean that you include one number. If I said in negative infinity, if I said pick one number, is there only one number over here? No, there's lots of numbers. Okay? So on the left side of the interval notation and the left side of the graph, I have negative infinity. And what do you think the last thing I touch is here? Where am I going? Where's my pen going towards? Now pay attention. On the x-axis, I'm going towards positive numbers. The answer is positive infinity. Students who struggle to get this concept, they think, Mr. Ng, the graph is going down, so why is it not negative infinity? Well, it doesn't matter if it's going up or down. I just need to know if the graph's going to go towards the right. Does that make sense? Let's do the range. So in summary, in interval notation, the left side of the notation is the left side of the graph, and the right side of the graph is the right side of the notation. Let's do the range. Where should I start, class? Bottom to top. Okay, so the bottom will be the left side of my notation. Where am I coming from, class? On the y values, that's negative infinity. Parentheses or bracket? This is not an order pair. It's telling you a start and an end. And then I'm going to end here. Where am I ending, class? Is that going to be a parentheses or a bracket? Yeah, a bracket is the same thing as equals to. What does this mean? It says all of my answers are going to be from negative infinity to -3 and including -3. Remember, this is the bottom and this is the top. Okay? You are required to know both of those notations.